It is day 15 of the 30 days of dance training, so we are at the halfway mark. And guys, you are doing great, so keep it up. You might be tired, you might have skipped a day or whatever, but you are here, which is really, really amazing. You are investing in yourself. I'm investing in myself, so we are doing something really beautiful. And let's just make sure that we keep that up, okay? So today we are going to explore the possibilities of our head movement. There are several options that I have in using my head in separate ways, or focus points, you could say, that I use to create different shapes and different techniques, different ways of approaching movement with my head. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. So being able to use our head in our dance is extremely valuable. First of all, this is where everything is happening, right? We hear over here, we speak from here, we look from here. So there's a lot of senses we taste from here that come from the head, or that are there's a lot of stuff we experience from the head. And being able to utilize our head in our dance helps us to, you could say, go deeper into our dance. If I would, for instance, move my body, but I would keep my head straight and not do anything with my head, you would feel me less. And the reason for that is that the eyes, as some people say, are the window to the soul, right? We express a lot through our facial features, through speaking, through the way we look. It is just extremely valuable to be able to also take control of this part up here, so that it can, I guess, accompany or support anything that we are doing with the rest of the body. In groove, in flow, and in isolation, the head is so crucial, because without it, you just miss a big portion. It is like a metronome at some times. It helps leading flow at other times. It is just really, really useful to be able to use this part of your body for your dance as well. Some people do that, other people neglect that. That of course doesn't matter. For now, what it's all about is exploring and finding new ways. Maybe you are already used to this, and hopefully I can inspire you to find a new way of using it. Or maybe you've never done it before, and this is all going to be very new to you and probably really, really interesting. So I myself use my head in almost everything that I do when it comes to dancing, and it helps me so much, like I said, in my groove and in my flow. When I have a bounce, my head is always moving inside of that bounce, right? It's never still. For instance, if I, for instance, focus on flow and creating fluid movement, my head guides and leads the way a lot. And I have a few options, a few ways that I practice to be able to utilize my head in many different ways, so that I can use groove and flow in a lot of different options, or variations, you could say, in my head. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play around with the different focus points we can have in our head. What are focus points? A point that I focus on to lead with, basically. That's kind of how I see it, okay? So the first one that we're gonna talk about is the top of the head. I want you to think of a pencil on the top of your head, and you wanna draw basically something on the ceiling, okay? So let's say if I would draw a circle, it would look like this, right? Of course, I can also draw like this, but now what I wanna focus on is how we can tilt our head to create rotations and movements, okay? Like that. So, if I take a plus, for instance, I have forward, back, side, side. Forward, back, side, side. Forward, back, side. And forward, back, side, side. If I have a circle, I can circle my head around, and the other side. Boom, boom. Okay, so this stays in one place, and my head moves, you could say, around that neck. Yeah? Okay. I can take a square. We go to one side, switch, back, other side. We did this in the isolation class. Bang, boom, boom, back, and reverse it back. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so if I would, for instance, groove with my head, I can bring it up, right? And that creates a certain groove that shows rhythm in my head, but now by creating a tilt, tilt. I can do the same for the side. I can tilt to the side to create grooves in my head. Front, same thing, as if I say yes, right? Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Now, after that, we focused on the top now for a little bit. Another focus point is my center of my head. As if I focus on like the mid, the mid of the head, and I want to move the mid around. Okay, sorry, I'm stuttering just a little bit. So if I would move the mid of my head, boom, in a square, this is what I would get. We already practiced this before, right? Boom, 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 boom. Other side. Bang, 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 bang. Plus, so front, back, left, right, front, back, left, right, front, back, left, right, and front, and back, and left, right, front, back, circles, and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, and continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Other side. And 5, 7. Okay, cool. So now we have the top. Let's make a plus. We have center. Let's make a plus. Okay. And after that, we have the neck. So we're going to focus on the lower part of our head, and it's kind of hard to explain, but think of it as wanting to expose the neck. So I want to show you the neck now. So I'm going up to show you the neck. Yeah. If I want to show that's my neck to the back, I'm going to bring it in and expose this part right here. So we have here and here. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Sideways, I want to expose here, but what I do is I extend because I want to move to it. Otherwise, I'm not creating a plus, I'm tilting my head again. So you could say now my head stays in the center. Before I tilted, and you could say my neck stayed in the center, right? Now I'm going to not tilt, but bring my neck out, and my head is going to try to stay where it is at. Stay in that center, you see? Boom. Boom, boom. So you tilt, but you move to the side at the same time. I myself move up just a little bit. Boom. Other side. Bang, 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 bang. Side, side. Boom, boom, boom. So this one is going to be the most difficult for most people because we are definitely not used to moving focused on the neck to create the directions right there. That is not something that we do a lot. It's not very natural for a groove or whatever, you know. But now that we are focusing on utilizing our head completely, of course, we're going to try to find as many options as possible. And these are options that I use myself in my dance, and they help me a lot. Okay, so we're creating a plus, boom, in, side, side, front, and back, and side, side. Okay. Circle, right? So if this is going to be interesting. If we create a circle, what we do is we basically rotate, but try to keep the top of our head at the same place. So we rotate, we expose our neck, bring it to the side, bring it in, bring it to the other side, bring it out. Boom. Probably looks really funny, or just a little funny, or maybe not at all. But it will feel funny, that's for sure. Other side. Slower. If you have a hard time with the rotation, think of do the plus but move circular through the plus. So we have this side, right? Now we're gonna go from the from the front, boom, to that side. We have the back, where we tilt our head in or forward, and push up to bring that neck, boom, to the back. And we're gonna tilt from this way and tilt it forward. So here, boom, boom, okay? Now we do the half circle. We start in front, right here, neck comes out. We go to the side and go to the back. Front, side, and back. Other side, boom. So, bring that neck out again, okay? We're gonna go from the tilt here to the side, and bang. The whole thing, or 3/4 of it. Front, go, side, and other side. Last part, we come back. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, every single count, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Okay, do that with me without the rotation. So I'm just going in the plus now. We start at the front. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Now rotate through it. 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now try to continue your rotation. I know this feels really weird and it's gonna take some time to become comfortable with this and find the right feel of it. Okay, always remember to try to keep your top of your head at one place, and you use and kind of extend your neck as well as your body, boom, to be able to rotate around, and that exposes your neck, creating a focus, boom, on your neck. Okay, cool. So that is not all. We had 3 now. We had top of the head, make a plus for me. Center, bottom, neck. Okay, and the last one is our view, the front of our face. So now it's focused on how we look. Up, down, side, side. So up, down is the same as the tilt, but side, side. We didn't have that one yet, right? So that's pretty interesting to me. Up, down, side, side, up, down, side, side, up, down, side, side, up, down, side, side. So I can imagine that you're wondering, how the heck do you create grooves from this, Kev? Because I can't imagine creating grooves from looking side to side. Well, if I look side to side and move, for instance, like that, you can create a groove. If I shake my head like no, see, it also has a vibe to it. Same for if I would tilt, for instance, my head back. If I do it sideways, or let's say if I sway from left to right, boom, boom, boom. See, now it fits, right? If I nod my head down and put a bounce to it, it fits. Now for the neck, it's kind of weird and it's not a comfortable groove. I myself use my neck a lot for flow, but we'll get into that either in this class or in another one, but then later, okay? I mean later, or in this class, later in the class. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's see, up, down, side, side. Now circle. So we're gonna come up there and we're gonna circle down and up. Hey, circle, down, up, and boom. 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. I remember that I forgot to do the square in the neck. So let's do the square in the neck for a moment. We come to a corner, boom. Switch to the other corner, bring it back, and to the other side. Keep your head centered somewhere in the middle, as if it's locked in, and you try to move, but you're being pulled by that string, so you can't move, and you can only move your neck like that, okay? Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, back, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, back, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Okay. View. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was gonna go back. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Easy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're gonna get into that later, okay? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna speed it up to make sure that it feels danceable as opposed to just looking around. For now, we're gonna take the plus and we're gonna do the plus in all sections slowly, okay? 5, 6, top of the head, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the center. 7, 8, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and your view where you look. 7, 8, again, head, the top. 3, 4, center. 5, 6, 7, 8, neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, and view. 6, 7, 8. Let's do it one more time just to make sure that we got it. 5, 6, 7, 8, top. 2, 3, 4, and center. 6, 7, 8, and neck. 2, 3, 4, and where I am looking. 7, 8. Let's try to speed that up. So, let me see, what tempo are we gonna do? Or are we gonna groove it first? 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8. Okay, that's a good start. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, front. 6, 7, 8, and neck. 2, 3, 4, your view. 6, 7, 8. Again. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Top. 3, 4, and center. And neck. And view. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, and nope, that's not gonna happen. Okay, now let's do it with circles. Let's see. This is gonna be really interesting. So I'm gonna start it off slow. Let's say we take is 4 counts enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's fine. 8. So that's what we're gonna do. That's gonna be the tempo. Okay. That means 4 counts for every circle. Cool. Let's try it out. It actually doesn't matter what way you rotate, but I'll try to help you a little bit. It's kind of hard because it's like clockwise, counterclockwise and stuff, but then it looks different. So just follow along with me in whatever way or form you can. Eventually you're still doing the rotations. So you're going over both rotations, so it's kind of fine. Okay, here we go. Top. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Front. 1, 2, or center. 4, 5, 6, 7. Neck. And here it becomes interesting, right? Because now we have to make a rotation from the neck. So there's several ways we can approach it. I'm already forward, so I can bend in and start from there. Or I can go sideways and then continue to forward. For now, let's try sideways. So we finished here. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Few. So I'm looking up now. And change my focus from where my neck is to where I'm looking. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, try it again. Top. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. View. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if we can speed that up, but let's try it out together. Here we go. So the tempo is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. We can do it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. Yeah, let's do that. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let's see if we can do it a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Front face. 3, 4, 5, or center. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. So now the head is becoming warm. You start to control a little bit what is happening with the different parts, right? You're getting used to it just a little bit, which is good, which is nice. Let's see. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play around with it a little bit, and we're going to start trying to create one circle, okay? So we're going to take one circle and don't come back. It's a continuous circle. So we have the top. Whoop. From the top, we go straight front, okay? As in, sorry, center. I keep saying front because I think of the front because I look to the front, but centered, okay? So top, centered, bottom, okay? Top, bring it back, centered, and then as you bring it back, now your neck comes to the side, boom, and you take the bottom. So from here, you bring it out. So I rotate, I of course come forward, and then the neck starts to move from there, bum. And then the view, of course, comes afterwards right away. One circle. Let's do it slowly. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, normally we would rotate this way, but I feel like if we are rotating here, this would make the flow better. Because when I said this, I meant I changed my rotation. I went, instead of going counterclockwise, I went clockwise now. So I finished off right here, which was counterclockwise. And then normally we would continue a counterclockwise rotation. For you, probably clockwise. That's what it looks like for you, I think. With the view, right? But now we go to the other direction because as my neck comes in here, you see my head can already rotate into that direction, and that feels more fluid, okay? So let's do it from there. We're here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. And why I continued to start with the 1, so I only counted 4 counts, was to hope that you would understand that we were at a new section, okay? Now I'm just gonna do it in 8s. Here we go, top, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, neck, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. This is gonna make me dizzy, but we're gonna have to do it. Here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, neck, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. Do that one again. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the center. 7, 8, and bring your neck out. 3, 4, and view. 6, 7, 8. I don't think we can speed that up. I think it's pretty difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is possible. So we go back to the other direction. We're gonna just speed up. We're gonna try, you know. That's why we practice. I'm practicing it with you together. So we got this. 5, 6. Let's see the tempo. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. Oh my God. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one is not easy. 6, 6, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I also have a struggle switching to the other side. So always one feels really comfortable, right? And the other one might feel a little less comfortable. But that's okay. That's how you learn. That's how you know where you can work on, what you can change. And that will eventually, of course, help you to become a more balanced mover, balanced dancer, you could say. Okay. So again, you probably are wondering, how the heck are you dancing with this, Kev? This feels weird. I have no idea what to do with this. I'm just making circles. I understand. So we're going to make sure that we learn how to dance from this. What we're going to do right now is we're going to first take the top, okay? And all I want you to do is learn to play around and build grooves, focusing on the top of your head. So for instance, if we have a side to side, that's what we get, right? If we, I say that, nod our head back and forward, we get a groove. If we bring it back, we get a groove. So I want to ask you to take a song, pause the video, get your song on, and play around with the different options you have in nodding your head sideways, back and forward, and so on, or tilting sideways and nodding it back and forward, and just searching for different options that you can have. With that, okay? So play your song and come back afterwards. Nice. So now that you have finished that, you already know what the next section is. We're gonna take, sorry, not our direction. We are going to take the center of our head. So now we're gonna use it to push forward and sideways, right? I can stay in the front. You can take basically all the steps, right, that we've been practicing in the 4 panels. You can take your bounce. You can play with your tempos that we have worked on. So many different options, right? So just take your front, your backs, your sides. Just play with the groove, with the rhythm, the tempo, the pace, and search for different options you have in there, okay? Up to you. Go ahead, get your song and do it, then come back. You already know what comes after, right? Next sequence is the neck. So this one is a little bit difficult when it comes to groove. I often use bounces, more bounce type movement. It's really hard to take a rock and, yeah, it's really hard to take a rock and put your neck into it. So just take your time with that and try to find a comfortable, you could say, amount of stretch that you make. So don't like overstretch everything and make everything extremely big, because it might feel really weird, right? So just take your time and search for the comfortable side of it, okay? You can stand in one place for now if you want to. Of course, you can try to move, but even for me, moving with my neck in groove is pretty difficult, okay? But everything within time. So go ahead and I'll see you back. Last one, you already know. We're gonna take our directions and focus on where we are looking to create our groove. So now this is the 4th round that you should be doing when it comes to dancing. So it's really easy to become dizzy with this one. So the trick is to sometimes keep your head in a place but move your body. What? Well, if for instance I do this, see now my head stays centered, stays in one place. My body is moving, so actually I'm doing this. But I'm just doing it at the same time as my body my body is changing a direction. right? So if I, for instance, want to go here, I can look, change, look, change, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom. Or I can look back, boom, and back, there and back, bang, boom, boom, right? So I can do a lot of different things with that change, for instance. That is an option. Of course, you can also stick to just looking into directions, looking up, nodding down, and so on. These already, we already kind of did this, the up and down one. So it's mainly the sides that are the ones that you want to focus on, but you might become a little bit dizzy. Okay, so get through it and then I'll see you back. Okay, so now that you've done that, it is time to put them all together. We're gonna take our top, we're gonna take our center, we're gonna take our neck, and we're gonna take our direction, and you're gonna try to freestyle and just dance with the different options you can find in these parts, right? So I'm gonna show you a little bit what it would look like if I, for instance, take my top, take my center, take my neck, take my center again, and my view. Center, top, neck, and view. Woo, see? So it's gonna make you dizzy, but there's a lot of beautiful things that can happen from there. And like I said, for me personally, I didn't say that yet, but for me personally, what I really like about dance is creating opportunity and option for myself. I just love to have anything available so that my spirit, my emotion can always be expressed 100, 1000%, you know? The more vocabulary I have, the easier it is for me to explain you something, to tell you something. And I have a lot to say with my soul, so I want to be able to have a lot of things in my body. Now, of course, that is my mindset, and that's what I like and enjoy about my dance. That's what I love. But that doesn't mean that you have to understand that and that you have to experience it in the same way. It is very understandable if you just want to stick to less things and become really good at that, as opposed to knowing a lot but not being able to do any of it. You know what I mean? So it's different from person to person. Some people just want to groove, just want to vibe out. We don't need anything. It's just, this is more than enough. My whole soul is into that, and that is perfect. Other people need certain connections. I want to be able to build small stories and logical, you know, concepts. That's fine too. I'm just giving you my perspective because it is my class, and so I want to, of course, always also share my approach, my reason to why I do something, why I practice so much, why I have so many different concepts and so much information, and I want to share you the reason as opposed to just the techniques, you know, because in the end, it's all about the intention to why it is being done. So that's why I'm sharing it. Okay, so now top, your center, your neck, and your view, and you just use your grooves. Take a song and build grooves with the different parts. Take your time. It is really it's sometimes better to stay centered and really focus on just the head, and trying to find different ways that you can do it in the head, as opposed to trying to move around so much that you lose focus on what you're actually practicing. That is like going to a gym and then saying, I want to do legs and arms, chest, abs, and some cardio in the same day. It's possible, but you're going to benefit a bit less from it because your attention is divided now. And now you're not going to have as much, you don't get as much out of it, basically, right? So same works for the dance. If I practice a certain specific thing, sometimes you want to stick to that and really just take your time to dive into that thing, so that you all your focus and energy goes into it, and then later when you become used to it, then you can take your focus off and whatever you need will come to you. Okay, so go ahead, do your thing, and then I'll see you back again. Okay, so now that we did the grooves, it is time for some flow. So flow has several different meanings to it. Okay, when people talk about flow in hip hop freestyle, there's a lot of different meanings that it can have, a lot of different things that they can talk about when they talk about flow. For instance, when we talk about flow, we can talk about fluid movement. Movement, like for instance, a wave that has a certain watery texture to it that is very, yeah, fluid. Simple as that. It doesn't have to be over-explained. Another option for flow could be your connection to the music. Sometimes when people say that someone has an amazing flow, they are talking about how they can ride the music, ride the beat, and never like get lost, never lose track of the energy, the vibe, and so on. And how basically everything that they make or that they create, the story that they build, you could say, keeps connecting to the music and connecting to each other. So if I do something with my arms and then with my legs, if it's really connected, sometimes they call that flow as well. Another definition, and the last one that I'm going to talk about, could be your ability to transition. So it can be transitioning from standing up to the floor, transitioning from one place to the other, or transitioning from one groove to another groove, right? From one type of movement to another type of movement. Flow has a lot of names, has a lot of forms, okay? The flow that I'm talking about right now is fluid movement, to be able to move without stopping, basically, right? And I often use many circles and rotative movements to create that, because if I would take any sharp edges, for instance, right? If I take, for instance, a square, I stop, 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 and redirect my movement, which breaks my, which breaks the flow of my movement. Now, it doesn't have to break the flow of my story, meaning of how I build different pieces of the puzzle, different types of movement on top of each other, right? That's a different type of flow, but it can break, it definitely breaks the path. Okay, there we go. It definitely breaks the path that my body is taking into pieces. See, right? I stop here to redirect my path. But when it comes to fluid movement, I want to continue my path as if it's never changing direction, just moving along the line, yeah, through space. Okay? So the first one is going to be the top, and we actually talked about it a little bit in our waving class, and we talked about snaking. So this is not snaking. Of course, I learned the techniques a long time ago. I think 2011 I learned about snaking techniques, but it was not, that's not where my inspiration came from. The inspiration was very simple. I just wanted to be able to let my head, the top of my head, lead my body around as I would move to places, and snaking does the exact same thing. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the top of our head and we're gonna try to move forward. We're gonna take a plus, but this time we are going to wave in that plus. Okay, so I come forward and then come back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Okay, from there we go side to side, 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 side. Let me help you just a little bit. Head comes first, shoulder and the body, boom, moves after. We move to it, okay, then the head moves already, boop, to the other side. Shoulder and the body, head, shoulder, the body, head, shoulder, body, head, shoulder, body. And we move from side to side like that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so now we take front, back, side, side, and front, back, side, side, and front, back, side, side, and front, back, side, side. Now, really important when you do this is to never stop. So it's, we can speed up and slow down. For instance, zoom, 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 but you don't want to stop, 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 because you basically completely destroy the flow, right? You stop the flow. Boom, boom. So I play around with how I move a little bit slower at the ends of my plus. And your body can really accompany you in what is happening. So for instance, if I bend a lot, boom, 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 see? You create so many different nuances of the same movement and so many options in how you basically flow. It becomes really strong as opposed to very passive if I don't use my legs. Bang. See, now I have strength. I can do more from that as opposed to just moving around my head. Okay? Cool. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna speed it up just a little. front, back, right, left, front, back, right, and front, back, right, left, front, back, right, left. Nice. For the centered movement, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on an 8. So I use a lot of 8s in my movement to create flow because the 8 is infinite, like the infinity sign, and it helps me to basically create infinite flow in my body. So we're gonna go to one side as if I'm making a square, go to the other side, then we're gonna go to the other side of the square, but I diagonally come back as if I'm making an X with my head. Okay, that's where it starts. From there, what you're gonna do is you're gonna move through it without stopping anywhere. So you rotate, it's a circle in the front and a circle in the back. Boom, boom. There's probably gonna be a class where I talk about this more. So for now, we're just gonna keep it very simple. We're not gonna go into detail because I already gave you a lot of information, right? I'm gonna try to stay focused on that and make sure that I don't do too much now to help you guys in your practice a little bit better. Okay. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I do it a lot. I love making 8s. You feel that flow? It's just, yeah, it's very useful. Okay, cool. So now we have, of course, we can also work in circles if we want to. This side, let's make an 8 from the back. So we come back here, make an 8, and then instead of continuing the 8, you move to the other side. Circle. Now when we move to the back, we make an 8. And continue the circle without stopping or without another 8, okay? So I'm circling, I'm gonna come to the back and make the 8. Shoom, shoom. It's actually a S now, right? Because I make a circle around that S, you could say. S, and circle around that S. Now move, make the S from, how do you say that? From the front instead of the back. So start it now, and boom. Other side. And another S, here we go. Boom, boom, and other side. Okay, so you can play around with that. You could also, of course, take the front, back, side, side, but I feel like these rotations that I'm showing you, that they help a lot more for flow when it comes to centered head movement as opposed to going forward and back, because you will always stop. Okay, so we have our top right now, and we have our front or our center. So we can also create flow from the neck, but I think this is more than enough information for now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our top and we're gonna take our face, and I'm gonna ask you to just freestyle and basically guide yourself, create drawings, lines, as if you are drawing in the air with your head. Just draw around and move around. Think of like a dragon, for instance, and so a dragon would move around, of course, you know, or a snake, his tail leads or follows after the leading of his head. So you just follow along with what is happening, okay? And then when you come to the front face, we use those circles, or sorry, the center. I keep saying front face the whole class, but I mean center. We're using circles and move around in circles. Now what you notice with me, just a little tip, is that I use a lot of weight shifting, which we also practiced already, weight shifting in my movement, because it helps me to create a more fluid movement in the full body, right? If I just do it with the head, don't shift, Kev. If I just do it with the head, that illusion or that experience of flow is very limited. But if I use my body, you see that? My whole body is floating, you could say, around. And the head is leading that flow, that floatiness of the body, basically. So if I go down, whoo, come up, woo, see that? So that's kind of how I use it myself. So play around with the top and the front. Okay, let's for a moment put them together. So we're gonna go forward, back, side, side, and S, or sorry, not S, and 8, back, okay? Or actually, Since I'm not giving you the neck, I can add a little bit onto this. It's nothing much, don't worry about it. We go forward, back, side, side. From here, you want to make a circle, and then, sorry, is it a circle? Let's see, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, okay, we make a circle, so yeah, make a circle to the back, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it off and come forward, but diagonally, bang, as if I make a X instead of a plus now. X, we go back to the left side, or for you, right back of the X, rotate to the other side of that X, and then come forward again. Okay, so it's here, here, there, there. If you did the hip class with me, this also should feel a little bit familiar, because in the hips, we did the same thing, right? Okay, so forward, back, side, side, X, X. Okay, I did it that side first, but this feels more comfortable, so we're gonna do it that way. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, forward, back, side, side, X, X, and forward, back, side, side, X, X. Last one, forward, back, side, side, X, X, and then we go into our 8. And then from there, we are going to go in our 8s and our circles. So what we're gonna do is, after we finish, let's see, right here, we go straight, boom, into our, sorry, that's a lie. We finish back here. So we're gonna straight go into a 8 from there. Boom, and 8, come back. After we finish the 8, we take a full circle, okay? Make a S, full circle to the other side, okay? And then as we come to the back, so I think that's 1.5 circle, we make a 8 again. And that's where it finishes. I'll do it really slow together. We go forward, back, to the right, to the left, come diagonal line, X right, come forward again, back, and 8, circle, circle, 8. I think I made a little mistake there. So after I'm here, come here, start my 8. I think I didn't finish the 8. So here I went into a circle, but you want to do, we have a S forward, and then take a S back, and that's where the circle starts. And then same to the other side. Okay, that's where I made the mistake. Sorry about that, let's do it again. Forward, back, right, left, X, the back of it, X, the back of it, 8, finish it, and circle, and 8, so the 8 starts in the back, and circle. Nice. Again, 6, 7, 8, front, back, left, sorry, left, boom, back, and X, back, and 8, 8 to the back, circle, and 8, 8, and circle. Okay, now if I speed it up, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, 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 and la la. 5, 6, 7, 8, front, back, right, left, boom, boom, and oh, back, and circle, and 8. I think I did it a little bit faster here. But you know, eventually you want to do it really fast. And eventually the speed is, of course, it depends on the music, but I want to have it available at as fast as I can, so that I can use it in different ways. Boom, zoom, 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 and circle, boom. See? But I'm not going to ask that from you for now. Practice that for yourself. I just want you to become used to the path. Do it one more time, and then you're going to freestyle. Here we go. Slow. 6, 7, 8. Forward, back, right, left. X, back, and X, back, and 8. Back in the 8. circle around, 8, back in the 8. Nice. Okay, so now it's your turn. Take this, all this inspiration, and just play around with it as if you're drawing, like I said, in the air, and just making circles and little lines wherever you can. Okay, have fun with it. Take a slower song to not get lost in the music, basically, and just give yourself the time and energy. Make sure that you challenge yourself, play around with it, go to the floor, go up, you know. Yeah, that's it. So do that, and then of course I'll see you at the end where we discuss the last section. So now that we have worked on our groove and our flow with the different focus points in our head, of course with the flow one a few less, but I think this is more than enough information already, it is time to have fun and put them together. So I want you to take 3 songs and just play around with the different options. Put them together in whatever way you want and can. At the end, don't think too much, you know. Whatever your body understands now, that is what it got. Don't overdo it and don't focus too much, because like I said, in another class, if you focus so much on doing it right, you're gonna end up not getting the essence of it, okay? So just have fun, play around, switch between your groove in your head and your flow, and see what different options you can find from there, right? So I can take, for instance, my front or my center and then move in an 8 from there. Center, 8, center, 8, right? I can take my top of my head and first groove with it and nod it back and forward. And then from there, make it the snaky thingy. That was a joke. Yeah, make my top of my head lead me around in flow, right? And eventually you get this huge variation of different things that you can do with the body, which is absolutely amazing. So let me show you just a little bit what can happen if you mix them up and just play around with the different options that we have. It's a lot of fun. Boom. Nice. So, yeah, take your time, have fun. I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope it was understandable, and I hope I explained it proper. And of course, can't wait to see your challenges and can't wait to see you in the next class. Take care.